Good morning, everybody. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, October 3rd, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com. Google released a bunch of visual updates to AI mode. Google Ads reporting has released a bunch of other updates. ChatGPT has instant checkout and much more, so definitely stay tuned. And of course, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Bruce Clay. Bruce Clay is one of the founding fathers of the SEO space, doing search marketing since 1996. Bruce Clay is big into SEO training, so check them out at seotraining.com. Also, check out their new product called prewriter.ai. This tool empowers writers to write better and more efficiently. So check them out at prewriter.ai. And of course, thanks to Bruce Clay, check them out at bruceclay.com as well. Okay, so this week the Google big news is that Google AI mode is more visual, has visual fan out techniques, and so much more. So Google announced that they made a bunch of updates to AI mode where it's just more visual, meaning when you do a search, specifically more so with shopping, but with other categories, AI mode will respond with larger and more visual graphical images, like products and so forth, that help you become more try to help you with your query to make it more inspiring and spark interest and so forth. It's more so on shopping, but it also works across other queries as well. There's also this whole visual fan out in AI mode where it looks at more not just a query in a textual way, but also graphical way, a visual way, and fans out the query based off of that. This should be live in the US for everybody by now. Take a look at that more so with shopping queries, but with other queries as well, like inspirational types of queries. And Google will give you more graphical responses in AI mode, so check that out as well. Also on Google AI mode, you can now opt in to the Agentic capabilities and Agentic features where if you want Google to help you book a reservation at a restaurant, it will let you do that. It's now a Search Labs feature, Search Labs number 43, if you want to know. And Ravi Stein, VP of Google Search, said excited to expanding access for this. Agentic capabilities in AI mode is for finding restaurant reservations are now available for all users to opt in into labs in the US. You can try it out now, and there's a link there in the story. There are other features that are coming with this in the future, not just reservations, but also things like local service appointments and event tickets. It won't let you do the final checkout process in AI mode, but it will let you do that, get close to it at least. Google's also testing in AI overviews, when you start to scroll, the citations on the right will stick to the top as you scroll until you get past the AI overview. This is spotted by Brody Clark. Nice find there. Here's some screenshots of that. Google's also testing a new shopping feature, Google Shopping feature, where you can ask stores using AI chat. This was spotted by David Kyle, who posted a couple of screenshots and images of this. I was able to replicate this as well. And as you go ahead and do a search for a specific store, this is Ask Stores button. And when you click Ask Stores, it brings up this chatbot feature on the right-hand side, powered by, it looks like AI. Elizabeth Reid, Google's head of search, was interviewed in India by the Economic Times podcast. And it basically spoke about the progression of AI search, content quality, SEO, the blue links and so forth within AI search, traffic, the overall ecosystem, agentic experience, and so forth. Also spoke about how AI won't be replacing search, but instead will be augmenting search. So there's a lot of big stuff in that interview, so definitely take a look at that interview. It's about a 30 or so minute conversation, which is probably worth a listen to. John Mueller said that an old domain that has history needs to be shaken off. He said this in a Reddit thread where he says, basically somebody's asking what's going on. I bought this new domain, which is actually a whole domain, which has a history. And John Mueller says sometimes it just takes a lot of time for the old state of domain name to be shaken off. And that's the case. He basically said give it more time, which is kind of sometimes against what John has said in the past, where John has basically said old domains with a lot of bad history, you just basically want to give up on them. You don't want to go ahead and try to fix them. But here, maybe this specific domain name wasn't as bad as it's written out to be, and maybe you can't shake that off over time, and maybe it's worth keeping this specific domain name. Always look at the Wayback Machine when buying an old domain name to see what type of history it had, because you don't want to be surprised if you have issues with it going forward when you put new content on that domain name. I posted the October 2025 Google Webmaster report where you can catch up on all the stuff that happened with Google and SEO related stuff in the past month, so definitely take a look at that. Google also seems to have fully rolled out the search box for emoji answers. So when you do a search for, angry emoji or fire emoji, whatever it might be, Google will give you emojis that you can copy and paste right in the top of the search box, which obviously kills third-party publisher sites that are trying to rank well for emojis. So that seems to be fully live now. Google is testing dropping the underline from the search results as you hover over it. I was able to replicate this myself, where you just kind of mouse over the actual title link of the actual search result snippet, and generally Google will underline it in blue, but here Google's just leaving it blue and not underlining it, which is something that Google's testing. I'm not sure why. Google Business Profiles may have seen a suspension spike, where business profiles are being suspended at a higher rate. This comes from a number of local SEOs in the local search forum, including Sayed Amir, who's a local expert in the Google forums. Mike Blumenfeld then shared a chart saying he tracks this closely, and overall, it seems to be pretty level with the terms over the past at least few months when it comes to suspensions. It is higher in the past 6 months than it was 6 months before that, according to this chart. So definitely take a look at that. The suspensions may be higher in the past 6 months, according to Mike Blumenfeld with Google Business Profiles. Google seems to be testing product reviews labeled as incentives that are incentivized. It's interesting because definitely because local reviews cannot be incentivized, but this is product reviews, and maybe they now allow that where you can actually go ahead and say these reviews are incentivized by maybe giving the product for free to people to get to actually leave a review. Interesting tag. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Nice find there. Google Ads has rolled out new Performance Max updates for reporting, including segmentation and asset reporting, and a bunch of channel reporting features. The channel reporting features include bulk reporting downloads of all your Performance Max campaigns, and channel level reporting and account level reporting, cost added to channel visualizations, ROI columns that can be added to your reporting table, segment results by conversion action and event types like engaged view conversions, and additional diagnostics such as limited serving due to restricted bid targeting. A lot of new features there, so definitely take a look at that as well. And Google Ads also has a new requirement, a new rule, I guess, for message assets. Message assets, this new requirement is to ensure that good user experience, and they go into effect on October 30th, 2025. Basically, the new message assets will begin that enforcement and then spike up in 4 weeks from now. But they don't want you to serve things that are just not good for the user. So definitely take a look. If you're using a lot of message assets, take a look at that new requirement in the Google Help documentation. And then I asked a bunch of local SEOs based on Vanessa Fox asking the great question is like, well, shouldn't Google Ads reporting also be affected by the num 100 parameter change? Search Console is, maybe the Google tools, the Google Ad tools should also be. And it seems like for the most part, they're not. There are some people saying, yeah, maybe. People like a bunch of people saying not. Like I got responses from Joe Schmo on X, Drew Cannon, PPC Greg, Melissa Mackey, Zach Bowley, and also Natasha Carew, and a bunch of other people. It seems like Google Ads is much better at filtering out this fake traffic, the AI bots and so forth, than maybe organic search. Of course, they have to because people are paying for that, so it kind of does make sense. Google is going to remove more lodging listings or hotel listings that have inaccurate pricing. Google updated their policy basically saying this is going to go into effect in a few weeks or maybe now, where they said their policy change will have a higher standard for pricing accuracy. So they always remove the inaccurate pricing, but now it's going to be even higher in terms of the pricing accuracy. So definitely be aware of that if you're in the hotel business. Google AdSense has launched a new traffic breakdown report, where it's traffic source breakdown, where it gives you a bunch of different types of breakdowns across direct, other, Bing, Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. So if you are using Google AdSense, you can actually see where your traffic is coming from in a much better view. Also, Microsoft is testing large images in Bing search Copilot ads. I believe this is spotted by Frank Santman. And basically, there's a really large image in the Copilot ads right in Bing search. Pretty interesting find there. And then finally, the big news is that ChatGPT from OpenAI has launched instant checkout. They one-up Google's AI mode, where you can actually go ahead and check out instantly directly in ChatGPT during a conversation. They say this is powered by Agentic Commerce Protocol, which you can actually go and implement on your own site. It's working right now with SD sellers through ChatGPT, with over 1 million Shopify merchants like Glossier, Spanx, and a bunch of other places. This launched earlier this week for ChatGPT Plus and Pro users and free users as well. Pretty interesting. Definitely check it out because this may be the future of e-commerce. In any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SEOroundtable.com. Everyone have a great week. I'll be offline on Tuesday and Wednesday for another holiday, a lot of holidays, and then one more week, and then I'm done. Everyone be well. Thanks again to Bruce Clay for sponsoring. Bruce, you do everything for the community, so thank you so much. Have a great, safe weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.